What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm in all out of light, but whoa, that's way too much light. What's going on, guys? I got me and Khalid's in the garage right now. We just got done taking the transmission out of the CRX. I didn't want to bother you guys with doing that because you guys have seen me do it not only on the CRX but on other cars as well. What you also have seen me do is take the casing off of an all-wheel drive transmission. What we're going to do right now is actually take the gear stacks out along with the shift forks just so we can remove the phantom grip differential in there, since we're going to be installing that into the new transmission that we picked up that you guys saw in the last video. So that way we can actually start getting that installed into the new transmission, and from that point forward we can put the transmission into the car, and then we can put other goodies that we got for the car. And I drank this whole thing of Red Bull and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I am so pumped up. Yeah. So yeah, let's get started with this and send it, puppy. Alright, so to start off, we ended up just taking a little bracket that holds basically the reverse mechanism. This is just two 10mm bolts. Then I should probably get on the other side, but I'll try right here. We're just gonna grab the forks as well as the gears all together. This, I can take it out right now. The reverse part, just set that off to the side. Let me just say it from right now, you guys know that I'm not a transmission guy, but I can take some gear stacks out. I'll probably ruin it, but whatever. Man, I really do hate taking these transmission stuff apart. I want to hold them all together. Of course, they want to fall all over the place. I don't want the bearings to come off the top because I don't want to have to put everything back together. But essentially, that's what I'm doing right there. I want to kind of hold them in place while I take this diff out, which I'm just going to pry it up. Okay, that's probably not the best way to do it, but differential is out. Nice. So now I get to put these wonderful stacks back in, which is kind of going to be a pain. Although I'm not using this transmission right now, I want to have it at least like into place. And obviously, if we're going to use it in the future, I'm going to go over everything. Have my buddy who does transmissions look it all over. But yeah, it looks like it's pretty much in. Shift fork goes down. And that was what, like a minute and a half around there. Really simple. Just took out the differential. Bearings feel nice and fine. Check this out. I want to show you the magnet. Pull this out. Look how much crap is on there. All broken stuff. This magnetic sludge from inside of the transmission. Mind you, when we put this transmission together, we cleaned everything, made sure there was nothing. So this is just stuff that's been breaking off inside of the transmission. Oh, excuse me, I got a burp. Check out over here, the fluid. Alright, I'm gonna throw this in here. But check this out. You see? Can you see the sparkle on camera? Not really. Yes, you can.
But I'm sure, like, once you go into put it on a bigger screen, you can see it
right there, bro. You can see the sparkle. Oh, that sparkle is basically brass from the synchros that's broken off. So what I think the main problem was, when you guys saw me at the track that the bracket for the clutch broke, I was still trying to wide open throttle shift on the street, and I think at the track a couple times too. And by the clutch not engaging and you just yanking on the synchro and forks and everything, you're obviously gonna wear stuff out. Khalid's can attest to this next part. I was driving past his house one day, and then I call him, I turned off my car. I drove for like 10-15 minutes with no oil in the transmission when I put the stage 5 clutch into it. The next morning I woke up, I forgot to put the transmission oil in it, I drove it, and I'm sure that warmed stuff up and ruined something inside. So in my other video I explained that I didn't want to rebuild the whole thing. This is one of the reasons why, because I might still be able to use a gear here and there if I need to, or if something else breaks. But given that we've had so many problems with it as a whole, I'd rather just start with a brand new transmission, use the differential, which I know is still good, and just start with that nice fresh platform, you know?
So our transmissions multiplied, now we have 2?
Science. Yeah, so now we have the disassembled transmission, the new transmission. I think it has like 50,000 miles on it, which is what they were telling me. So yeah, we're gonna bust this one open, start switching over the differential, then close it back up. Inspect everything while we're in there, put a fresh layer of Honda Bond all around the corners. And for that, I'm just gonna set it on the time lapse. I'm not gonna do anything too in detailed because, like I said earlier, on the other videos, I showed you guys how to take it apart. Yeah, really real quick, actually I didn't touch too much on the shifting mechanism on taking it apart. Basically, there's 4 12mm bolts that hold the tower on right there. Then you need to take this bolt right there out and this bolt right there out. Both of them have the Allen key, which is needed to take it out. And then you have a rod that comes out of there, rod that comes out of there. And you take out the tower, which is right there. And then you take out this selector, which goes inside. So it's really simple. The first time that I did it, I wasn't sure how to do it, but this time it came out super simple. Yeah, so we're gonna start taking that apart and start switching everything over. I'm a freaking idiot. I thought that the transmission would be drained for some reason. Then my stupid self decided to try to put the drain pan under it. I spilled some of that on the floor. So freaking pissed right now. I am so pissed. Because I tried to be all clean and whatnot. It's like 2 a.m. I really don't want to deal with this crap right now. I think I'm gonna go to Walmart and get some kitty litter because I really don't want to deal with all this. I literally put out cardboard, which I almost never do because I wanted things to be clean and organized. That sucks. Yeah. And lifting the transmission when it was like spilling everywhere. Khalid's left, by the way. He just left like 2 minutes ago. And I was like, no, he has to be up in the early for work. I don't go into work until later tomorrow. So I have my time, but I was like, nah, go ahead. I don't need you. Like, bro, get some rest. I don't want you to be late for work or nothing. A freaking idiot. What the hell, dude? Literally. What the hell? Alright, guys. So we pulled up to Walmart. I'm gonna get a couple things. Some kitty litter or mechanics litter, whatever you want to call it, to absorb a lot of that oil. I'm gonna get probably gonna get like the little magnet trays to put all the bolts and stuff, keep it nice and organized since I'm out of them, or I have them used for other things right now. I'm also gonna get some rags because I need that. Probably a nice hot, like liter bottle of water to cool down. Oh man, that pissed me off so much because I'm like, all right, it's gotta be drained because it was sitting on its side out of where the axle would drain whatever fluid was in it. And then I forgot, transfer case. Transfer case holds it like half a quart, almost a quart of oil, between having it sit on top of the gears and like within the case itself and all that kind of stuff. So kind of pissed about that, but it is what it is. Damn, look at the frame on this thing. Holy crap. Someone's been drifting a little too hard. But alright guys, let's get our stuff. Alright, let's see what we got. Definitely gonna get some rags. If they don't have the mechanics grade kitty litter or whatever, I'll just get regular cat litter. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any right here. Yeah, so I'll at least get these rags in the meanwhile. There we go. At least the one good thing that comes out of this is when the fluid came out, it was all like the brownish OEM color. So it's got low mileage because I think it would have been serviced in Japan since it's kind of stricter over there, I believe. And there was no like metal flakes or nothing, so the synchros are probably still in really good condition. So yeah, let's focus on the positive. Alright. Kitty litter. Ooh, instant action? What? Alright, let's see what's the best bang for our buck, you know what I mean? 2.8 cents per ounce. This should be enough. 30-gallon trash bags, shop rags, water, cat litter, and a receipt. We're good to go back home, feeling a little better too, so ready to get back to work, you know? Alright, so skip forward like 30-40 minutes, and it is all cleaned up. There's probably still a little bit of residue on the floor. I'll just use a little purple power and get it cleaned up with a rag, but there's like 2 liters of oil right there. R.I.P. At least the transmission is drained out already. I think I have a little bit more cardboard anyway, so I threw out the cardboard that was right there, got the rest of it right there. I'm gonna clean up the tools real quick, make sure there's no oil on them, and reset the transmission down. I'll clean off the kitty litter that's on the bottom of it, and then I can start tearing it down. But yeah, that was a time wasted due to a simple mistake on my end. I should have just checked to see if there was fluid in it. Can't blame anybody, it's on me. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this away and get ready to go onto the disassembly of that transmission. Alright guys, this time a lot more organized. Got all my bell housing bolts right there. Then I have the other ones laid out as accordingly. Tower right there, shift bracket right there. We have the ones for the shifting mechanism by that. Then we have the reverse bolt right there, as well as these springs. Pretty much everything laid out how it needs to be, nice and organized. All I'm left to do is take off the big plug, separate the clip, and the case should be able to come right up. So without further ado, yeah, let me do that real quick and then I'll show you the internals on this one. Man, this transmission looks absolutely mint inside. Bunch of life on the synchros. The oil is just beautifully, it's like it's colored perfectly and not a speck of any metal in it. Then on the magnet, barely any sludge, but no thick pieces, nothing that you can actually feel on your fingers aside from maybe metallic within the or like additives within the oil or something, but nothing like it feels like it broke or anything. The thing looks magnificent. So yeah, you guys saw me take the gear stacks on the other transmission off. I'm gonna take them off real quick, switch over the differential, which I have right there, put that one into there, and then I'll start getting ready to clean off all the surface right there. That way we can do a nice fresh Honda Bond sealed on the inside. Gear stocks are out, laid it nice on the floor. None of the bearings started coming out, nothing, everything's still as it should be. I'm just gonna tip over the rest of the oil that's in there into the pan now that it's free and I can actually grab it really easily. And yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. Just drop that back into there, into its new home. First, I'm going to clean out the RTV on the cases. Since the gears are out right now, it's a lot easier. And then if there's any debris that gets inside of the case, I can just clean it off. Sorry that I'm talking really low, by the way. It's really late at night, and I'm super sweaty, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I'm going to get to cleaning right now. And then I'll show you as soon as I put the gear stacks back on. Alright, so for everything that goes inside of the transmission, I already have it assembled. I just did a dry install, meaning that I didn't have any silicone, and put the case on fully, obviously without the bolts, because that would have just been unnecessary, but I sat it all the way down, even engaged a C-clip on top, just to make sure there was no gap. I have this oriented the correct way on the very top, as well as the reverse oriented correctly. So essentially, now I just got to clean it up 100%. I've already got the old silicone out, but now I have to degrease it, make sure it's a nice clean surface, apply a little bit of Honda Bond, which I'm actually out of at the moment, but I do have some Ultra Gray around here, right here. I have some Ultra Gray, which will do for now. I like to use the OEM Honda Bond for the most part, but that's fine for the time being. So yeah, I'm going to clean that up real good, a little degreaser, and then I will go ahead and seal it completely. Alright guys, it's the next morning. I have the transmission in. I have the old transmission there. I fought with that thing for like a couple hours trying to put it in. I ended up having to bring out the hoist because it's a little heavier than a regular transmission because it's all-wheel drive and whatnot. Not anything dramatically different, but man, I fought with that thing so much. It tore up my hands. The T-bracket gave me such an issue. I just kept on having issues with it. And finally I got done at like 5 a.m., took a shower, took a nap, went to sleep at like 6 something, and now it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Got a couple hours of sleep, about to dive right back into it. Essentially what I have to do next is tighten up the T-bracket. Then I have to put the axles in, reconnect all the wiring, which I'm going to clean up right there a little because I want to change it up anyway. Put the header back on, traction bar back on, slave cylinder, and that should be pretty much it. It should take about, I don't know, half an hour to an hour to do all that little stuff. as long as I actually, you know, work through it. But I'm pretty tired. I think I might go get a cup of coffee first. And, man, I'm beat. I am beat. It was a long day to begin with yesterday, and then to do all this stuff afterwards and whatnot. I'm seriously beat. But yeah, so let me go get a cup of coffee real quick, and I'll be back in just a little bit with some motivation. All right, so we have the axles in, we have the transfer case on, we have the drain bolt on. Everything should be good to go in terms of filling up the transmission. So here goes the first quart of Pennzoil Synchro Mesh. I'd like to do like a flush of just some motor oil just to make sure that there's no, like, I don't know, debris in there, but I forgot to get some earlier, so just put in about 2.5 quarts of the Pennzoil Synchro Mesh, and that should be good for first start. And yeah, the axles are in, like I said. All I need to put now is, I'm sorry, my garage is a mess, the traction bar end link and header, and the wheels tighten up axles. That should be it, to be honest. Header on, axle in, traction bar tie, or outer tie rod, whatever you want to call that, traction bar on. Everything is on. Just got to put the bumper on right now. All right, there we are. I'm not great with the little effects or whatever, but bumper is on, and that pretty much sums it up. All right, and that is pretty much it for the install of our transmission. Like I said, I didn't go too much into depth because I've done it in other videos, but the main thing was that we were able to pick up the transmission yesterday, then last night put the transmission, take the transmission out of the car, take it apart, get the phantom grip out of it, take the other transmission out or apart, put the phantom grip in that, put the gear stacks back in, put the forks back in how they have to be, reseal the transmission, fill the transmission. Car is 100% ready. Wait, not 100% ready because I haven't put the shift bracket for the cables. You know what? I have a feeling we're not going to be using that. But to find out why, check out the next video. It should be coming out in another day or two. You'll know exactly why I threw away that bracket. But I am super stoked to go forward with this build right now. I know what I'm doing. I'm messing with you guys. But thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. This was my first job of actually like taking out gears and putting them back together and getting the shifting mechanism and whatnot all back how it needs to be. Normally I have somebody else with me. I was by myself. I looked up a few resources online to make sure that I was doing it correctly, but I actually did it from what I've learned from other people like Brandon and Tony, who have walked me through doing stuff like this before. Thank you so much, guys, for giving me the advice in the past. We are super happy, like I said, super stoked to be going forward with this build. As for that shift mechanism, I'll give you a little hint. Although my garage is a mess right now, it has something to do with this right here. And you can take a guess at what that is. I'm gonna let you guys guess in the comment section below. I'm not gonna reveal what it is right here. If you follow me on Instagram, you can already see what I'll be doing for the unboxing before I actually upload it on YouTube, so you'll know before we get the videos out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next video and hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Peace.